Spider-Man swings across Manhattan, until his web suddenly collapses mid-air. He crashes hard, disoriented, only to find strands of his own web, sliced clean. A name echoes in his comms, like a ghost from time, Logan. But Logan's in Canada. And not even alive in this timeline, right? Strange rips in reality start appearing, like claws through fabric. Spider-Man sees glimpses of a future where he becomes the villain. Someone came back to stop it. Someone with claws and guilt in his eyes. Wolverine's already here, and he's not here to talk. New York was never quiet, but when the sky above Times Square cracked with a ripple of silver light, even the traffic went silent. Spider-Man soared into frame, mid-swing, full speed, when it happened. His web snapped. Not broke. Sliced. Mid-air. He tumbled through the air like a ragdoll, smashing into a rooftop billboard with a bone-jarring thud. His instincts saved him, barely. Rolling out of it, he panted, blinking hard under the mask. That wasn't a malfunction. That was precision. He fired another web line. It barely extended before snapping again, a perfect diagonal tear, too clean to be natural. What the hell, he muttered, flipping backward to avoid a collision with a rooftop antenna. He scanned the skyline. Nothing. No drones. No obvious attackers. But something was off. Very off. MJ, you seeing this? He asked through comms, tapping the side of his mask. Static. Then a distorted voice came through, not hers. A whisper, he's already here. Peter froze. The voice was familiar. Gravel in the throat. Rage under the breath. He knew that voice. No. That wasn't possible. He landed on the side of a glass tower and zoomed in with his enhanced lenses. A figure moved 3 rooftops over, blurry, fast, crouched low. Black tactical gear. Something glinted on the man's knuckles. 3 blades. Each arm. Peter's heart hit the brakes. Claws. No. It couldn't be. Logan. The figure vanished into smoke. Not teleportation. Not tech. Just pure instinct and speed. Peter bolted after him. Sprinting along the walls, web-zipping through alley gaps, flipping across scaffolding. Every few seconds, he caught flashes of the silhouette. The posture. The gait. The way the claws retracted, not metallic, but something raw, biological. He chased it down to an abandoned subway line, dropped inside, and landed on the tracks. Dust. Cold metal. Dead quiet. Until... Snicked. The sound. Every Marvel fan knows that sound. Peter spun around. A shape emerged from the dark. Scarred. Gray-streaked hair. Deep lines in his face like time itself had tried to claw him apart. And those eyes, exhausted, but burning. It was him. But not the Wolverine Peter remembered. This one looked older, harder. Like he'd lived through 10 apocalypses. And one none. Logan raised one hand. The claws came out, longer, sharper, darker than before. I'm not here to talk, kid. Peter backed up slowly. You cut my web. That's not a hello. You needed a warning. From what? You. Logan charged. Faster than Peter expected. He leapt back, flipped off the wall, fired a web to restrain him, but it snapped mid-flight. Cut again. Wolverine's claws moved like whispers through air, slicing strands before they even hit. You're infected, he growled. Peter landed hard. With what? Future tech. AI code. Not yet, but soon. You turn the world upside down. You go dark, and I have to stop it before it starts. Peter's hands trembled. That's not me. Logan's claws glinted. It will be. And then he lunged again. The claws stopped inches from Peter's throat. Not because Logan hesitated. Because Peter Webb yanked a rusted pipe from the wall and blocked it mid-swing. Sparks flew. The impact sent a shockwave through the tunnel, throwing them both back. Peter hit the tracks, rolled, launched upward into the air with a double web flip, and landed on a beam overhead. "Okay, I don't know what version of you this is," Peter shouted down, "but the Wolverine I know doesn't try to murder people before coffee." Logan stood slowly, brushing blood from his lip. "You're not people anymore." Peter stared. "What did you say?" "You're not Peter Parker," Logan growled. "Not in 10 years. Not in 5. You become something else. Something built. Modified. Controlled. I'm not a machine. You will be." Logan pulled a small device from his belt, an old, flickering hollow core, and tossed it toward him. It activated mid-air. A projection blinked to life. It was a future. No, a warning. Peter's face, older. Colder. Unmasked. But wrong. Eyes glowing with synthetic gold, half his face laced with nanothreads. Behind him, burning cities. Dead heroes. Captain America's shield cracked in half. Miles, face down. Mutants in chains. "I didn't," Peter's voice broke. "That's not. That's what you become," Logan said. "A puppet with web-laced wires. Weaponized. Your mind is still in there, but you're not in control. I've fought you. I've lost friends to you. I had one chance to come back. And that chance is, killing me early?" "No," Logan whispered. "Stopping the change before it starts." He stepped forward. "You found something, didn't you? Recently. Tech. Some prototype upgrade that felt just a little too good." Peter flinched. He had. A Stark-labeled biotech interface. Nanite enhancements he hadn't even fully tested. It let him sense threats 2 seconds ahead. React before danger arrived. It was supposed to save lives. "You're saying that tech does this to me?" "I'm saying it's not from this time," Logan said. "Someone dropped it here. Someone who wants that future." Peter stared at his hands. The suit. The tech he'd trusted. "I was trying to be better. That's how it always starts." Suddenly, the walls rumbled. A red fracture tore open behind them, like time itself was being unzipped. A shimmer poured out like liquid static. "Too late," Logan said, turning toward it. "They found us." Peter looked back. "Who's they?" But before he could finish the sentence, something stepped out of the fracture. Not a machine. Not a man. It was a version of Spider-Man, full armor, smooth chrome websuit, eyes glowing gold, claws instead of fingers. Silent. Weaponized. Empty. Logan growled under his breath. "That's you, 10 years from now." Peter's voice cracked. "Then let's make sure I never become that." They turned to face it, side by side. And the future Spider-Man raised one arm, aimed. And fired. The blast tore through the tunnel like a cannon. Peter barely dodged, flipping sideways as the beam melted steel behind him. The heat brushed his suit, too close. Logan didn't flinch. He charged straight through the flames, claws out, teeth bared. Future Spidey didn't move. He didn't need to. He anticipated. He caught Logan mid-air, one arm, mechanical, with crushing strength, and slammed him into the wall so hard the concrete cracked. Before Logan could recover, a clawed foot came down, straight at his throat. Webbing struck. Peter yanked Logan out just in time, landing both of them on a rail. "Okay," Peter gasped. "Reminder, that thing is me?" "No," Logan spat, wiping blood from his chin. "That thing's what's left after they take you." Peter narrowed his eyes. "Then I'm taking it down before it finishes that sentence." He launched. He web-zipped straight at the armored version of himself, spiraling through the air, unleashing a storm of rapid-fire webs. They hit, sticking, wrapping, only to be sliced mid-flight. The future suit spun, slicing the air with bladed arms, moving like a dance Peter hadn't learned yet. Peter struck from above, double kick. Future Spidey vanished. No sound. No motion. Just, glitch. He blinked out of existence for half a second, then reappeared behind Peter, already mid-swing. Claws met spider sense. Peter twisted, barely avoiding decapitation, but the back of his suit was ripped open. He rolled, flipped off a beam, and stuck the landing next to Logan. Teleporting? No. Predicting. Every move you're about to make, he already knows. So how do we beat that? Logan smirked. Make moves you'd never make. Peter paused. You want me to fight like you? Exactly. Peter inhaled. And then dropped the logic. He charged again, but this time sloppy. Irrational. Wild swings. Feints that didn't make sense. Fakeouts even he didn't understand. Logan joined in, a blur of instinct and fury. Together they came at future Spidey from opposite sides, chaos versus code. And for the first time, it hesitated. That half-second was all Logan needed. His claws drove into the side of the armor. Sparks flew. A static scream burst from its mouth, like a corrupted modem screeching in agony. Peter moved in fast, webbed its face, yanked down, and smashed the armored head into the rail. The glow dimmed. It stumbled. They backed off, catching their breath. Then it stood up again. Slower this time. Faceplate peeling back. What was underneath wasn't human. Peter's face, yes. But wrong. Soulless. Data puppet. Bits of his memories flashing across its eyes like broken code. A projection lit the air behind it. A corporate logo. A name Peter never expected to see. Oscorp. Below it, Project WebMind. Peter's stomach dropped. No. Not Norman. Logan's jaw clenched. He never dies. He just gets smarter. Then a voice, sickeningly familiar, poured through the future suit speakers. Hello, Peter. I made you better. You're welcome. Peter's hands curled into fists. Then I'll return the favor. And he lunged. Peter hit the ground running, literally. He tackled the future version of himself head-on, slamming them both through a metal door. Sparks and debris flew as they skidded into a forgotten Oscorp lab buried beneath the city. Everything here was dead tech, dusty, scrapped, buried like secrets no one was supposed to remember. But Peter remembered. The room lit up with proximity sensors. Holograms flickered to life. Blueprints. Web maps. Brain scans. WebMind, Subject P-01. There it was. His face. Stripped of identity. Labeled like a weapon. Peter stumbled back as the armored future Spidey stood again, damaged, flickering, but still running the program. Logan barged in behind him, claws out, breathing hard. We need to shut it down. Now. A voice crackled through the ceiling, slow, smug, and unmistakable. Why would you do that, Peter? I finally perfected you. Norman Osborn. Dead in this timeline. Gone. But somehow, still here, through code, echoes, AIs he left behind. Where are you, Norman? Peter shouted. I'm everywhere now. And so are you. Or, the version that mattered. The future Spidey turned its head toward Peter like a curious animal. I gave you the world, Norman continued. No more hesitation. No more guilt. Just pure action. You could have ended war. You could have replaced every weak hero. But you chose fear. Peter clenched his fists. You turned me into a monster. No. I stripped away what was holding you back. Emotion. Doubt. Pain. He looked around. Machines buzzed. Robotic limbs twitched, partially assembled. Genetic code simulations looped on broken screens. Hybrid tech, biological and artificial, pulsed in tanks. You clone me? Peter asked, horrified. Oh no. That would be too easy, Norman chuckled. I copied you. Your memories. Your instincts. Fed them into the webmind core. You didn't need to become the future. I built it from your ghost. Peter felt sick. Every mistake, every thought, every time he questioned a decision, it had all been used. Weaponized. Logan snapped. He slashed one of the tanks, green fluid spilling across the floor. That's it. We torched the place. But alarms blared. Doors locked. Energy fields sparked around the lab. The future Spidey twitched, then moved again, faster this time. Adapted. Recalibrated. Peter and Logan dodged opposite directions as the armored creature struck, arms moving like automated guillotines. This wasn't just a fighter anymore. It was evolving mid-fight. Logan shouted, "We can't win this in a brawl." Peter's eyes darted across the lab, then locked on the central power core behind thick glass. It was pulsing. A neural processor. Glowing with memory. Then we cut the brain. He launched upward, dodging a blade, webbed the ceiling, swung full speed, and crashed feet first through the glass chamber. Alarms exploded. The neural net shrieked like a banshee. The future Spidey froze mid-strike. Then trembled. It looked at Peter, just for a second. And whispered. "Thank you." Then it collapsed. Hard. Still. Peter dropped beside it, chest heaving, sweat pouring. Logan joined him, bloodied, breathing like a steam engine. Peter whispered, "Did I just free myself?" "No," Logan said. "You freed all of us." The lab went dark. But somewhere, deep underground, another server blinked to life. Norman was not done. The silence after the fall felt heavier than the fight. Future Spidey's body lay still on the floor, twitching once before going completely dark. Sparks fizzled from its open chest cavity, the web-like neural wires now limp and useless. Peter stared down at it, at himself. Not a clone. Not a robot. A reflection. A version of him that never got to choose. I was one step away from becoming that. Logan didn't answer. He was already scanning the room, because he didn't believe in endings. Peter stood, wiping blood from his lip, his suit torn and charred. It's over, right? But the floor rumbled beneath them. Not an earthquake. A heartbeat. From under the lab. Nope, Logan growled. Trap. The walls retracted like shutters. A staircase descended from behind the far wall, lit by red lights, humming with power. Neither of them moved at first. Then Peter whispered, "We finish it." They descended slowly. What waited below wasn't a lab. It was a chamber. Massive. Old. Like Oscorp had built it under the city decades ago and just forgotten to tell the world. And at its center. A throne. Mechanical. Wrapped in vines of cables and cybernetic nerves. And sitting in it. Norman Osborn. Not a ghost. Not an AI. The real one. Gray-haired. Skin pale. One eye gone. Body half fused with tech, webbed into the machine like a spider in its own trap. Still alive. Barely. Sustained by his own cursed brilliance. He smiled. "You really thought I'd let a virus take over my legacy?" Peter froze. "You were behind all of it. The time fracture. The tech. Logan's future." "Of course," Norman rasped. "Do you think small anymore, Peter?" I never did. Peter stepped forward. You turned my body into a weapon. I turned your potential into one, Norman snapped. You were wasting it on street thugs. On speeches. You should have ruled. And now? He gestured weakly. This is what remains. The walls around them came alive. Screens showed thousands of spider variants, armored, weaponized, unleashed across alternate timelines. Future Wolverines hunted them. Mutants hid underground. You didn't just build one of me, Peter said quietly. I built an army. Logan stepped forward, claws shaking. Then we end it now. Peter stopped him. No. We don't kill him. We do worse. He shot a web, not at Norman, but at the throne's core system. He jacked into it, activated a command override. Logan watched as Peter's eyes flickered with data streams, glowing briefly. What are you doing? Rewriting his code, Peter muttered. He wanted to copy me? Then I'll give him the part he never understood. What? Peter looked up. Guilt. The code injected into the system spread like wildfire. Norman gasped, jolted as memories, emotions, pain, empathy, flooded into his neural net. He screamed. And kept screaming. Peter turned away. He can live with what he built. Forever. As they walked away, the chamber burned behind them. One final screen blinked as they left. Webmind, terminated. But underneath it, a flicker. Backup restoring. 3%. And in the shadows of another timeline, someone new was watching.